Aging is 75% social and 25% physical. Older people have this diversity, so their needs are many, but social is the big need.
1, 2, 3, come on!
I think tennis people are great. I mean, they are just so loving and caring. I used to just introduce myself to everyone, say, hi, my name is Joann. Hey, do you play tennis?
I think it's, a good thing because you have your friends that you're around, and you're communicating with them, which if you tell your life story practically to them every day. Yes. You need to have a lot of social contact. I think that helps a lot.
Because when you transition out of work, that's where you usually have all your networks through people at work. So transitioning to this, having a group of ladies that you see several times a week, it kind of just fills that void that you used to have when you were at work.
We have a good time together. We go out for birthdays. I mean, for everybody's birthdays, we go to lunch.
I'm 69 years old, and look at me, so I just feel like it's keeping me alive.
I feel fortunate, very fortunate, because a lot of people have quit as they got older.
Just exercising is like, I got to go exercise because of my health. But if you could find something that you love doing and it's with a group, you're winning a whole lot of, it's a win-win because you're meeting people that have the same interests that are there for you if you need someone.
Yeah! It's just, the whole thing is to get out and get exercise and to join groups. Your age. I have to find younger ones now.
These guys that come out here, that's what keeps them healthy. That's what keeps them going.
Well, I got here in January of '99, and it had already been established. A gentleman came down the road walking about 3 houses away he lived. He was 89 years old and belonged to this tennis group. And so he asked me if I was interested in playing. I said, sure. And that's how I got started. Lots of times people will just come down to the court and see us playing, and then we'll tell them what days we play. And they'll come join us. We tell them it's pretty much all doubles.
I came over here one Saturday morning and found these guys, and they invited me to play, and I've been here ever since. I played with guys up till 90 years old. Hadn't played with anybody over 90 yet, but played with several men that were 90 years old, and if I can play when I'm 90, that'll be great.
It's just the camaraderie, there's no money involved, it's all for fun.
Oh, I got great friends here. These guys they give you the shirt off your back if you needed it. Tennis is a very social thing. Plus, you're getting some exercise, but it's a wonderful activity. Some of these fellas, this is the only social interaction that they get, perhaps.
Because sitting at home, there's nobody to talk to or anything like that. So this is a good part of my social interaction with people. It just picks up my spirits because 4 years ago, in fact, a couple of days from now marks the 4th anniversary of my wife's passing. And, this is a way to kind of keep rejuvenated and keep my head straight. And the big thing is you know, stay active as much as you can.
So you gotta enjoy every day. You only get one day at a time.
Most of the times you make your friends because of your kids' friends. So then once you're empty nest, you're depending kind of on yourself. I had been retired 2 years and I realized I had this vision, but I hadn't put it into place. So I just started looking around. How am I going to be closer to my grandchildren and my children, and how am I going to be part of a community, because I hadn't done that yet. So I have been taking classes to learn mahjong. And I have completed my coursework, and I'm a very slow, deliberate player, but I have met some of the greatest people who are also not sure that they are very good at playing, but we've connected. My reason for wanting to move, number one, were the times that I knew I had to miss something that my grandkids did that was awesome. And a lot of my friends, their grandchildren are in their same town, and I saw what I was missing. So that was probably the number one thing. My one daughter said, "Mom, do you realize it's been 18 years since we've lived this close to each other?" That's a long time, not to be by your, you know, one of your one and onlys. So my husband is a professional golfer, and I need to play golf better. You know, it's just a thing I probably need to do. So right now we're in the process of him giving me a golf lesson every week. And it's a great bonding for us, because one of the things that I want to have in my retirement is my relationship with my husband to keep growing. I told someone the other day I was tired of my diagnosis for everything being the word old. Oh, you're old, so now you can't see as well. Or you're old, that's why when you're baking, you're having a hard time measuring because you can't see as well. Old. What is it? It's just a word.
Let's go.
I never think about being alone particularly. And this is a funny thing, because I've been single now or alone. All right, when my husband first died, naturally you're heartbroken. I was very happily married. I moved here to be with the kids, and then the kids moved to Austin and various further, but we're still all close enough together. And I did not like where I was in San Antonio. I was in real bad traffic. And I was just overwhelmed with, you know, I don't know how to buy a house. And I wrote down the things I liked about this house. Number one was the flagpole. Not number one, but one of the things. Landa Park is right here. And I had grandchildren that enjoy Landa Park to this day, because it's a forever park. And I already had turtles and a bunch of animals, so I knew I was going to put a pond in the backyard. So that was an issue, that it had to have a backyard that would work with a pond. Well, I traveled from San Antonio to New Braunfels when I finally moved here. After packing everything, I put all the animals in the car, and I had 2 turtles. I had 2 dogs, 2 Italian Greyhound dogs, a cat, a parrot, and maybe some other odds, and an aquarium, all in my car. And I thought, from San Antonio to Braunfels, if I ever had a wreck, how would you explain that? Animals everywhere. An older lady that was a really good friend of mine, and we would talk various Sunday things, and she said, "Well, you'll always stay happily alive if you have a purpose in life." And I've thought of that. As you get older, you have less and less purpose, because your kids don't need you as much or want your input. And you just really, and so the purpose is I provide the animals for my kids and grandkids. I did make friends in the neighborhood. I made friends with, there's a club called the Newcomers Club. That's anybody that moves into town, but once you're here and once you join that club, you're here forever. I'm one of the oldest, that's next to the oldest or longest time in the Newcomers. There's one other person that's been there longer than me. And you go to see things in town that you'd never see. You make friends there that have interest in you with what you're doing. I had gardened my whole life. I hadn't had pets my whole life. I got those because of the grandkids. And the plants I had, because my mother could not garden. She would kill everything. I don't even know how. So that was one of my first things, if I would get an allowance, if I would keep the garden up in my front yard. But that was how I started gardening. I'm friends with the library, and I worked at the library for a while, but during COVID, I quit because of old age, and you can catch everything under the germs. But then they had this thing of, well, you can sit and sew on Wednesdays. Here's these sit and sew people. Little old ladies, all of them. So I look and I see each one of them are sewing on something different. Some are knitting, some are crocheting. And I learned beading from them. There's one lady there that does beading on a loom. And that's the one thing I've never even known anybody that did. At one time, way early on, when I thought, oh, well, I didn't kick the bucket, I wonder how long I'm going to live. Didn't really worry about that. But what age would you want to live? At one time, and this is just in my mind, don't know where I came up with it, 103 would be fine. I don't want to live to be 103 now. I think anybody at any age is going to miss what they were a year before. And even when I got my tricycle, I thought I just would ride it right in here. I'd never go anywhere with it. And I finally thought, you know what, I don't care. Yes, at first I was real subconscious. It makes you, look like an invalid, look like an old lady. And I thought, I am an old lady. You know what I mean? Why do I have to be embarrassed? I'm it. But I'm still having fun. And that's why I have the electric bike and the fun car. And I have had a good life.
And the further you go, the more you know. Things may not last like you want them to, but should you need to believe, some things can always hold their value. Let me be your living proof. Let me be your living proof.